See, it's going down. It's going down like young Jock. I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark was pissed off. She was not happy with the substitutions being taken out every 2 minutes, and she voiced it after the game. She slammed Stephanie White in the Indiana Fever, said, hey, look, I didn't know nothing about this. This was not a part of my plan. I don't know what the hell is going on. I know I'm on a minutes restriction, but I didn't know I was going to be coming out every 2.
What many fans are calling one of the most dramatic controversies surrounding the Indiana Fever has ignited intense debate across the basketball world. For months, supporters have questioned why Caitlin Clark has frequently been taken out during key stretches of games, with many arguing that the substitution pattern disrupts her rhythm and offensive momentum. Now, those concerns have fueled even greater speculation after reports of growing tension within the organization. According to widespread fan discussion, veteran guard Sophie Cunningham passionately defended her teammate as frustration over the team's direction continued to build. While many of the reported details remain unconfirmed, the controversy has intensified conversations about leadership, communication, and the Fever's future. Supporters point to Clark's substitutions as a recurring source of debate, arguing that removing an elite scorer just as she finds her rhythm can affect both confidence and offensive continuity. Others maintain that coaching decisions are part of a broader game plan. Whatever the explanation, the discussion has become one of the biggest storylines in the WNBA, with every decision by coach Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever now drawing intense attention from fans, analysts, and the basketball community.
Clark abruptly being subbed out over and over, just ridiculous. This is in the article on the Indy Star by Chloe Peterson. Okay, here it says, Clark did not look like her usual self on Wednesday, playing in 2 to 3 minute spurts as a condition of her minutes restriction, something she said when asked about that setup. She said, that was not my decision. That was somebody else's decision. That wasn't on me. I ain't want to do that. That was somebody else's decision. She was also quoted as saying, it's really hard when you're playing 3 minutes, sub out 3 minutes, 3 minutes, then you're on the bench. Clark said, it's really, really hard to get in the flow. For the most part, I got good looks. Some of them went, some of them didn't. I probably didn't get to have a feel for the game as I usually do. It's just really, really hard for me to play in that scenario. But overall, my body feels great. So that's the positive I can take from today. So she let it be known. And I said that. That's why I said, I'm not tripping over her missing shots. There's no rhythm. You can't play 2 minutes. Go sit down, go get on a bike.
Behind the scenes, tensions were reportedly building to a breaking point. According to growing speculation and fan discussion, the coaching staff underestimated the emotional strain within the locker room, believing the players would ultimately accept the team's direction without significant pushback. Instead, critics argue that the ongoing handling of Caitlin Clark only intensified frustration and deepened divisions throughout the roster. The alleged turning point came during a tense post-game team meeting, where the coaching staff attempted to explain the team's recent struggles. Reports and fan reactions claim that coach Stephanie White defended the staff's decisions, while suggesting Clark's aggressive style of play had contributed to some of the team's challenges. To many observers, the exchange appeared to be an effort to shift responsibility away from the coaching staff, sparking even more debate about leadership, accountability, and the future of the Indiana Fever.
How are you expecting a player to have a rhythm and play well, your star player, the best player on your team, the face of the league, with this? I understand a minutes restriction, but if this was the plan, you should not have played her at all. This is a horrible plan. This is not setting up your star player for success. This is sabotage. This is setting someone up for failure. Make no mistake about it. And then you got Stephanie White subbing Caitlin Clark out left and right. Look at this. Caitlin Clark is ready to sub in. And Stephanie White's just going to pull her from the check-in table. Caitlin Clark's there to sub in. And now, boom, she's just go back to the bench. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then they brought in, I believe they brought in Lexi Hall or Sophie Cunningham instead after this, alongside Michaela Timpson. I mean, it's just ridiculous what is going on. Just go back to the bike. Like, how is she going to play well in this type of setup? It is ridiculous. Okay, this is the article courtesy of Chloe Peterson on the Indy Star. Why Caitlin Clark struggled in return from back injury, suffered 2 weeks.
But before the coaching staff could finish delivering its prepared message, Sophie Cunningham stepped forward with an emotional response that immediately changed the atmosphere. Refusing to stay silent, she moved to the center of the room and passionately challenged the direction of the team, breaking from the usual post-game routine. Looking directly at coach Stephanie White, Sophie reportedly demanded answers about the decisions surrounding Caitlin Clark and questioned the team's overall approach. According to supporters, she openly criticized what they viewed as growing internal tensions, making it clear that, in their eyes, the real issue facing the Indiana Fever went far beyond what was happening on the basketball court. In that moment, the conversation shifted from game strategy to leadership, accountability, and the future of the franchise.
Indy Star and ESPN following the 106-92 loss. Even though my workouts have been hard and I've responded well to those, you just don't know when you get into a game environment. Obviously, I'm such a competitor. I think I can play more, but sometimes that can get you in trouble. It's a long season. It's a long year, and a couple of games like this isn't going to mess you up. Just get your feel back, and it'll be okay overall. Stephanie White said, anytime you missed a couple of weeks, it's going to take time to get acclimated. It's going to take time to build endurance. Well, Stephanie White, you're talking about building endurance. Caitlin Clark said she wasn't even tired. So, like, y'all not on the same page. Y'all are not on the same page at all. This is a debacle. This is a circus. Clark could never truly get into a rhythm because of those seemingly constant subs. She made sure her body stayed warm the entire time, using the exercise bike in periods off the court and wearing a heat therapy pad on her back. But with the amount of time she spent off the court, she couldn't ever get a true feel on how it was playing. She said it's just really hard when you're playing 3 minutes, sub out 3 minutes, then you're on a bench. It's really, really hard to get into a flow. For the most part, I got good looks, She said I probably didn't have a feel for the game as I usually do. Like, it's just really, really hard for me to play in that scenario. And it'd be hard for anybody to play in that scenario. It'd be hard for anybody. Okay, she said, I told our trainers after the game that it stinks we didn't win, but she's basically saying, she got out the game healthy, and I guess that's okay. Now this is...
The real issue, many fans argue, isn't the generation-defining talent on the hardwood. It's the growing perception of internal politics and leadership decisions that have overshadowed one of the league's brightest young stars. Sophie Cunningham's passionate response quickly became a major talking point, drawing widespread attention across the basketball world. Coach Stephanie White appeared under intense scrutiny as emotions surrounding the situation continued to rise. Reports and fan reactions suggested growing tension, with frustration spreading throughout the organization. What began as a debate over coaching decisions soon evolved into a much larger conversation about leadership, trust, and the future direction of the Indiana Fever. Whether the criticism is justified or not, one thing is undeniable. The controversy has captured the attention of the entire basketball community. Every decision, every reaction, and every development is now being watched closely as fans wait to see what happens next.
Turnovers, but okay.
I felt like some of our rotations weren't there. As good of activity level as we had a game ago, I don't think we had that here tonight. Again, it's big when you don't have an AB on the floor, certainly. We didn't have Sophie early as she locked up early, before even warm up. So we didn't have her early as well. So I think more than anything, collectively, just the team defensive effort, making sure we're in our rotations, having each other's back. It wasn't there consistently.
Trash as a coach. Now let's get into Kelsey Mitchell acting like she don't even care. Like she don't need Caitlin. Like it's crazy, man.
It's about showing up. It's my job. I'm gonna do my job every day. I think that this game can't be taken for granted. You gotta respect it. You gotta pour in whatever you got into it, and give that every time. I don't think there's an excuse that you can give to do this job, and I think that I do my damnedest to make sure that I show up. If I can lace them up and I can do what I need to do, then I'm gonna do it.
If I can I respect that. But damn, it seemed like are you trying to say Caitlin not giving her all, not lacing them up, doing what she got to do? What are we talking about here?
Thank you. Hi, ladies.
Charlotte. I mean, I thought they did a great job at break point. Turnovers that led to
It seemed like this game was or something like there was.
So, it's always disjointed, disoriented when.
By choosing to prioritize personal authority and administrative ego over team unity and athletic success, the coaching staff has fueled growing criticism and raised serious questions about the franchise's direction. Many fans believe the team's internal culture is beginning to unravel. Television analysts, corporate partners, and passionate supporters are closely watching every development surrounding Indiana, with frustration continuing to build over what critics describe as a toxic environment created by the current leadership. The hunters have become the hunted. And the front office appears to be under mounting pressure as it works to regain control of an increasingly tense situation. Across the sports world, the conversation has expanded far beyond player minutes, defensive schemes, or team chemistry. It has evolved into a larger debate about loyalty, leadership, market influence, and the power of superstar unity. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham have become central figures in that discussion, with many fans viewing their stance as a defining moment for the franchise. Whether this controversy reshapes the organization or simply becomes another chapter in WNBA history, one thing is clear. All eyes are on what happens next, and the outcome could leave a lasting impact on the league.
Into her and built a team to play around her. They've spent 2 off seasons building a team to play without Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day. It's very simple, and I think the writing is pretty much already on the wall. At the end of the season, Kelsey Mitchell contract is up. Caitlin Clark is up for the Epic. Whatever. The Indiana Fever are going to be forced to pick a direction. They're either going to choose Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White, or they are going to choose Caitlin Clark. And I include Stephanie White in that because Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark, philosophically, they just don't see basketball from the same lens. It's that simple. I don't believe that they hate each other off the floor. I just don't think that on the floor, it's a good mix. I think they just see the game through 2 different lenses. And we have been yearning and calling for Stephanie White to actually stand up for, represent, and be front and center for Caitlin Clark. And she's refused to do it at every turn outside of a 30-second clip post the Alyssa Thomas situation in which she backtracked on everything she said and made Alyssa Thomas the victim when her superstar point guard was the victim.
The fans have spoken. The locker room appears permanently fractured, and the ultimate administrative reckoning may soon unfold on live television. Will the franchise's top executives decide to replace the coaching staff before the team slips into complete, irreversible irrelevance? Or will the superstar duo spark a historic shift that changes the direction of the entire league? One thing is certain. The sports world is watching every decision with intense scrutiny. Every move from this point forward could shape the future of the franchise. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this locker room battle is reaching its boiling point, and what happens next could change everything.